Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for being here this evening. We're going to go ahead and call the meeting to order, and we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. We'll go ahead and move on to roll call. Ms. Palacios.
Dr. John Sparks.
Here.
Governing Board Clerk Sherry Lowe. Here. Governing Board Member Denise Reese. Here. Governing Board Member Raul Rodriguez.
Present.
District Administration Superintendent Dr. Manuel Valenzuela.
Present.
Assistant Superintendent Scott Downs, absent. Assistant Superintendent Brett Bonner.
Here.
Chief Financial Officer Lisette Huey. Here.
Thank you very much. We'll go ahead and move on to the next item on the agenda, approval of the revised agenda. Dr. Valenzuela.
Yes, sir. President Sparks, members of the board, after your review and consideration, I do recommend approval of the agenda in its revised form.
Thank you very much. We have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Motion and second. Any discussion? Thank you. Seeing no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Thank you very much. We'll go ahead and move on to the next item on the agenda, which is approval of the minutes. Dr. Valenzuela.
Yes, sir. Thank you, President Sparks, members of the board. In your packet, you have draft copies of the minutes from the regularly scheduled meeting of the board a couple weeks back on February 8th. And after your review and consideration, once again, I do recommend approval at this time.
Thank you very much. We have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, we'll go ahead and vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Thank you very much. We'll go ahead and move on to ratification of the vouchers. Ms. Huey.
Good evening. Tonight I recommend payroll voucher ratification number 16, new payroll 2021 for total payroll of $7,772,855.08. Additionally, I recommend expense vouchers 1061 through 1066 and new expense vouchers 1073 through 1080 for a total of expense vouchers of $17,342,208.17 and a grand total of ratifications and new vouchers of $25,115,063.25.
Thank you very much. We have a recommendation for ratification of the vouchers. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Motion and second. Any discussion? Seeing no further discussion, we'll go ahead to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Thank you very much. We'll go ahead and move on to the next item of the agenda, which is Superintendent Report. Dr. Valenzuela.
Thank you very much, President Sparks, members of the board. As always, we begin my report with a quick glance at the enrollment numbers over the course of the last couple of weeks. As you can see, we are down slightly by 14 students or 0.2%, but nonetheless, as you look at the overall trend data, you see that we're still about 80 plus students ahead of prior year and in line with budgetary projections, sitting currently, as you can see, at 6,321 students. Second, I'd be remiss this evening if I did not take just a moment to express my sincere gratitude to some of Sahuarita's finest, the men and women of the Sahuarita Police Department and their colleagues at the different agencies, from the Sheriff's Office to the Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, the FBI, Homeland Security, and all of the responders that supported us in our time of need with the incident at Walden Grove High School last week. It was a total team effort. It was a community effort. Thanks to everybody in our community for your support, your patience, and your trust as well. And in the midst of that, the programs in our schools were moving along in a pace of excellence that is our standard. Right there, I believe we have the this is the state championship team, or the fourth place state championship. Is that cheerleading? I believe that's cheerleading team. We also had the pack dance team from Walden Grove High School, which last Saturday completed their 8th consecutive Arizona State Hip Hop Dance Championship. I know those of us that love football were very excited about when people were saying dynasty for the Chiefs after 2 wins. I think the pack dance team is right there with them. We're very proud of this team. And similarly, the Sahuarita High School dance team also achieved a state dance title. They are in different divisions. That's how they both can be state champions. And so they earned a state title. It was quite the weekend last weekend. And also the same weekend, the Mustang wrestling team from Sahuarita High School earned their 2nd consecutive or back-to-back Arizona State wrestling title. Sahuarita truly shines, and I am proud to share about what truly was a championship weekend. And with that, President Sparks, members of the board, it concludes my report for this evening.
Thank you very much. It's always exciting when you see the information coming in and you have state champion, state champion, state champion.
Oh, by the
state
way,
champion.
while I'm at it, you just reminded me, as we speak, literally right now, the Lady Red Wolves, the Walden Grove, the #1 ranked Walden Grove Red Wolves lady soccer team is playing in the Final Four, the semifinals, up in the Valley, up in Phoenix. And so hopefully we'll get some good news this evening, but in any case, we're extremely proud of them as well. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and we appreciate it. We'll go ahead and move on to Governor Board reports, and we'll go ahead and start with Ms. Lowell.
Thank you very much. I'd like to reiterate my thank you to the community for the response at Walden Grove and the community forum that we had last night. That was excellent, coming together and hearing all sides of the situation. And I want to wish everybody a great rodeo break. And that concludes my report. Short and sweet.
Thank you very much. Ms. Reese?
I just want to put out a huge shout out to SIS. They started a new tradition in the last couple of weeks with their Valentine's sing-along. And if you did not get to participate, it was a really, really, really neat presentation. And my understanding is Ms. Hadeen has been trying to put that event together for a couple of years, and it finally came to fruition this year. And it was a really neat community building event. So that was awesome for them. And then I also wanted to wish good luck to Sahuarita Indoor Percussion. They have their first competition this week. We have students in that group from both SHS and Walden Grove. So wish them good luck on their first competition. And also to Sahuarita Winter Guard, who has just started their competition season as well. And good luck to them as well.
Thank you very much. Mr. Rodriguez.
Yeah, my new best friend right here. I went to a Love of Reading here at Anza. Had a good time. Got to read some books, hang out. We talked about our favorite foods. Pro tip to moms and dads. We all agreed that spicy beef ramen is the bomb. So, it's quick, it's easy, it's delicious. Just want to say thank you to Anza Trail for that invite. I had a really good time.
Thank you very much. I just like to just add, it's kind of this is that time of the year. Regional band and orchestra was this last weekend, and I think 13 represented from Walden and 12 from Sahuarita.
Yes,
sir.
sir.
It was both the band and the orchestra. And then also, you already said Walden Grove placed 3rd place in their first Winter Guard event. And I think I need to, and I think I can speak for everyone that, after the events of this last week, I'm grateful to live in a community that, as by a whole, is supportive and encouraging and working for the best for children, and to see the kind of speed and accuracy with which law enforcement responded and how it was handled while I know there are things we can improve on always, but grateful for the debriefing last night and the comments from the public. And I think I have a son at Walden Grove, and asked him how it went too, but he was very open about the fact that he's like, wow, the response was fast. That's what he said to me. So I'm just grateful that, while not perfect, we always can get better, that the vast majority of the community was supportive and committed to the safety and support of our children. And I think that's all I have to share today. And we'll go ahead and move on to the next item of business, which is recognition of community staff and students. Dr. Valenzuela.
Yes, sir. And I believe that Mr. Rodriguez is going to do the honors this evening. But an honor it is. One of our very favorite things to do every month is to honor some of Sahuarita's most amazing students and the tremendous example that they set every day on our campuses in the area of citizenship and character, because we know that that is a vital part of the educational process. So we honor you. We thank our sponsors at Green Valley News, Sahuarita Sun, also at Freeport McMoran, who invests in this worthy cause, and of course our own governing board, who's been doing this for probably about 16 years now. Parents, we also extend a thank you to you and grandparents and aunts and uncles and family for being that first and most significant teacher in your child's life, and obviously the positive influence that you are having in the shaping of their character and the type of young men and women that they are growing to be. So we celebrate that, we recognize that, and we encourage them to keep on working to be the best they can be. When your name is called, Mr. Rodriguez will present you, come on down. Mr. Rodriguez will present you with a letter from me, a very nice certificate, and also a gift card to Barnes & Noble so that you can go buy lots of good books and celebrate your success. Mr. Bonner knows the routine. He'll set you up over here. We'll take a nice picture, and Jamie and Dan and the folks at the Green Valley News have honored us for years by giving some of their space in their newspaper to let the whole community know about our amazing students. So we will begin with our leaders in character for February, and we begin with Sopari Elementary School, where our leader in character is fourth grader Axel Sarabia. Axel, come on down. I don't see Axel, so we will just move right along. We'll make sure that Axel is recognized at a later time. And we will move on to Anza Trail School, where our first leader in character is a kindergartner. Congratulations, Michaela Hogue. Michaela, come on down. Wow, kindergarten. It didn't take Michaela long to make an impression. Congratulations, Michaela. And again, at Anza and Wrightson, because they are K-8 schools, we honor two students. So we'll next recognize the Anza Trail Middle School leader in character. Congratulations, Peyton Chastigner. Come on down. Our next leader in character is a first grader from Sahuarita Primary School. Congratulations, Joseph Robles Suazo. Come on down, Joseph. We now slide next door to Sahuarita Intermediate School, where it is my honor to recognize the leader in character by the name of Braden Wood. Braden. And at Copperview School, our leader in character is another third grader, just like Braden. Congratulations, Anaya Berry. And it appears as we move to Wrightson Ridge that we have another Michaela among this esteemed group. Congratulations, leader in character, Michaela Polanco. Congratulations, Michaela. And moving right along, staying with the theme at Wrightson Ridge School, we recognize an 8th grade student as leader in character. Congratulations, Thomas Wright. Again, don't see Thomas. We'll make sure that Thomas is honored. As we move to Sahuarita Middle School, where our leader in character is 6th grader Brooklyn Mortensen. And finally this evening, we round out our recognition with our high schools and Sahuarita Digital Pathways Academy. We'll begin with Sahuarita High School, home of the Mustangs, where we honor senior Kiana Gardner. And from both of our high school students are seniors this time. Doesn't always work out that way. But from Walden Grove High School, we are proud to recognize leader in character, Kyla Beltran. And finally this evening, from Sahuarita Digital Pathways Academy, our fully accredited, fully online school, our newest school, if you will, we recognize 3rd grader Jasmine Molina. Jasmine. All right, Ms. Furwise. And parents, if any of you would like to come down with your own phones or your own shots, please come on down. We'll take a little breather here so you can take those pictures. Big smiles, everybody. Congratulations to all of you. We're proud of you. We know you're going to continue to do great things, and parents and family, you're more than welcome to stick around, but we also know it's the day before rodeo, and if you've got things to do, it's totally appropriate if you choose to depart at this time. So again, thank you for making time to be with us this evening and to honor your amazing students.
Yeah, well, I always enjoy that portion of the meeting. So
Absolutely.
so we'll go ahead and move on to the next item on the agenda, which is call to the public. And I'll read the thing I'm supposed to read, and I'll give a brief explanation. Considerations and discussions of comments or concerns from the public. Those wishing to address the governing board may do so at this time or at the board's discretion at the time the item appears on the agenda. All speakers are requested to hold their comments to 2 minutes or less. 20 minutes will be allowed for both online and in-person comments. In accordance with Arizona open meeting law, board members may not respond, comment, or ask questions of speakers regarding issues not on the agenda. Any comments not read during this agenda item will be entered into the public record. And I think to add to that, at least since I've been on the board and when I've been the board president a few times, we ask you to keep your comments to 2 minutes. I will kind of give you a heads up at 2 minutes, and if we understand sometimes it goes a little over at 2:15. I'll give you another warning, and at 3 o'clock, at 2:30, we'll ask you to stop completely. So try to keep it to 2 minutes. We understand that often we're passionate and we care and we want to hear from you. I think some people think we don't, but we do really want to hear from you and care what you have to say. And I think this is an opportunity to express that to the board, and we appreciate you being here because there are a few, I think, this evening. And so if that's okay, we'll go ahead and move on with that kind of consistent perspective. And sometimes, just to say, sometimes you may say something and we may ask staff to follow up or talk to someone to kind of follow up on what's said. So Ms. Lowell, how many do we have this evening?
We have 5.
We have 5. Okay, I'll go ahead and turn the time over to you. And Ms. Palacios, or who's managing the clock? Okay, there it is. Great.
We're going to go ahead and start with Maria Rodriguez, and then Liz Bordeaux. Be ready to step up after Maria. So Maria Rodriguez, you're up. Whenever you're ready to start, the timer will start. Oh, that's okay.
My name is Maria Rodriguez. The reason why I'm here today is to ensure the safety of our children at Sahuarita Middle School. The way that this can be done is by getting staff to follow the policies that were put in place for the safety of our children. After talking to other parents, turns out that there's a lot of bullying that's being taken place and not the proper measurements are being taken. Back in December, our daughter was influenced by another student and was bullying a student. We found out because the parents knew us and came to our house, not by the school. Had the staff followed the policy, we would have been aware of the situation sooner and could have addressed it with our daughter in a timely manner. Turns out our daughter too has been bullied. Our daughter has been bullied by the same bully that was bullying the other student since December. This boy has been bullying the girls by grabbing them by the backpacks and spinning them around and making them fall. He also does this to our daughter. The same boy constantly corners and smacks our daughter in the head and inside and outside the classrooms, where she has yelled at him to stop in front of the teachers, and the teachers do nothing. In fact, they say they didn't see anything or hear anything. The same boy constantly throws pencils at the back of her head and again reports it to the teacher. And again, the teacher says she didn't see anything, having pencils in front of the class. Not once has the school ever called us to notify us of 2 things: when our daughter was being a bully and when she was being bullied. Last Wednesday, the boy assaulted our daughter. He pushed her up against the wall right outside of the classroom and smacked her upside the head. Our daughter reported it to the school, to the office, and yet the school still hasn't notified us. We filed a police report and we're planning on pressing charges. Where I'm going with this is that if the school would have taken care of the problem child, our daughter and who knows how many other girls wouldn't have had to have gone through this. I believe that after all the reports and the staff not being properly trained and trained to address these situations, maybe we could redirect some of the funding and actually hire an RSO.
It's 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
Okay. And properly train, if they properly train the staff to enforce and to follow the policies in place, maybe some of this bullying would stop.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is Liz Bordeaux, and after Liz, Gerardo Baez. Be ready after Liz.
Thank you, Maria. The reason why I stand here is for the need for bullying to be addressed. I am 62. I have a heart for this issue as I was bullied myself from grade school through high school and partially through college. Bullying is an issue that affects lives well into their adult years in the forms of deep insecurities, anxiety, especially social anxiety and depression. The only reason why I stand here before you is because God has healed me of the damage of bullying, because if it were not for God, I wouldn't be standing here giving my story. I know this issue has to be addressed by the board, by the teachers, principals, and parents. I have heard too many stories of bullying, and it's very, very concerning, and it cannot be overlooked any longer in the form of the schools, the principals, assemblies need to be enacted so that there can be where people can actually get up and share their stories, such as myself, because if kids could hear how much bullying affects people into their adult years, they might reconsider. So this is everyone's issue. And I want to be a part of the solution, so that's why I'm standing here before you, giving my story. Here I am, 62, but I thank God for that my heart has been healed from all of the damage, because there was a lot. I was bullied weekly, okay? The stories that you shared, the stories that you shared were the things that happened to me. I won't go into the details, it's too much. But I stand before you here because I want to be a part of the solution. I want there to be assemblies. I want there to be assemblies, different interaction on the part of the teachers, on a part of the principals, even the community has to get involved in the problem of bullying. So this is no longer just a parents' issue. This is this is everyone's issue. Because here I am, 62, okay? And I'm getting to share my story for the very first time.
2 minutes and 15 seconds.
Okay. I'm getting to share my story for the very first time, okay? So thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Gerard Baez, and then Cynthia Espinoza after Gerard.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Gerardo Baez. I have a daughter who goes to Sahuarita Middle School. For months, my daughter has been a victim of almost daily bullying. She has advised school staff on several occasions about it. The school staff has failed to comply with the governing board's anti-bullying policy. I'm asking that the district takes appropriate action to keep our children safe and to hold staff in compliance with district anti-bullying policy. I have notes and 2 audio recordings that show the failure on the school part to comply with policy. No one at the district level has asked to see those recordings. I have spoken to Mr. Brett Bonner, the assistant superintendent, 2 times on the phone about it. My daughter has not been to school since February 2nd, as on that day she went to report the daily bullying that she receives there to Ms. McKay, the assistant principal. Not only was she not listened to, she was also yelled at by Ms. McKay because my daughter called me on her cell phone. Since that day, I learned from my parent that his daughter has also been a victim of an assault on campus, and then the school has failed to notify him. He had to call the police on his own, and so have I. So I think this is really unacceptable. I don't know who needs to listen to it, but someone does. And I appreciate you being here when you really don't have to. But thanks for being here. I think our kids deserve that attention. My daughter's not going to school because, as I explained to school staff, I send them an educated kid. We come from good manners. I was born in Arizona, but I was raised in Mexico. And when I came here, I had to work twice as hard. And I'm trying to instill in my kids that being here, they're not immigrants, they were born here, but I want them to work hard. And school, by having them suffer bullying, I believe is denying them their education. My daughter's coming home, biting her fingernails, being afraid of going to school when she was cheerful. One of the pictures that she's being bullied about is a picture of her beautiful self saying, "I love myself." How can we allow this to happen? I believe that the inability of the Sahuarita Middle School staff to prevent or deal with bullying is placing our children at risk. I think we should go along and keep our children safe. I have contacted Congressman Raul Grijalva on the matter, and I also contacted the investigation unit at the Arizona State Board of Education. As today, my daughter was dropped out from school. I'm glad some board policies are being followed at least. And like I said, thank you, ma'am. And I feel sorry for all the parents who are going through this. And someone needs to listen. I don't know who is, but I'm not going to stop here. I'm going to speak to whoever needs to listen to. And I have proof. I have 2 recordings. One is 25 minutes long, and the other one's 2 hours. I have school staff on that recording admitting as to their failures. So hopefully you guys can listen to me. That's all I had.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Cynthia Espinoza, and after Cynthia, Harry.
Good afternoon. My name is Cynthia Espinosa, and I have two children who attend Sahuarita Unified School District schools. I'm here to request 2 items be placed on the next agenda. Number 1 is Sahuarita Middle School's failure to comply with the governing board's bullying policy. I have evidence that the policy was not followed when an incident occurred with my child this past December. I had not been informed of the school's findings as to the bullying allegations, nor have my son or I received his written rights pursuant to the policy. I've requested that information on various occasions via email. My son has autism and expressive language issues, so the bullying was not reported by him until the day of the incident. However, his friend had reported this child for bullying 3 times prior to my son's incident occurring, and the parents did not receive resolution. I believe Mr. Valenzuela has an email from those parents. They wanted to be here today but are on vacation. They have evidence of the multiple reportings and of the violations of the bullying policy. The school failed to follow the policy when this child was previously reported and failed to conduct a proper investigation. Should the school have done all of this, they would have realized that my son was another victim, as his teachers all expressed his actions were completely out of character for him. Number 2, I am also requesting the issue of the need for an SRO at SMS be placed on the next agenda. I have disclosed SPD call logs to Dr. Valenzuela that evidence the need for an SRO at SMS. From the beginning of the school year to February 8th, when the call logs were requested, Sahuarita Middle School had placed 125 calls to SPD. 110 school days had been in session. Anza Trail 34 and Wrightson Ridge 15. I do agree with the district's policy that warrants the need to call SPD when a crime has been allegedly committed, but the school board and the district need to ask themselves, why are so many crimes being committed at Sahuarita Middle School versus other schools in the area? I believe everyone on the board has read my email that was sent yesterday, so no need to go into ARS 38-431 unless it's requested. Although I do want to note that I believe the Arizona open meeting law has been violated. Again, the board is not prohibited from placing the need for an SRO at SMS on the agenda pursuant to Arizona Revised Statute 38-431, and I'm requesting the board add these 2 items on the next agenda. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And then next up is Terry Bettis.
Hi, I'm Elle Blythe.
I'm Noah Vaterloss.
We're here representing SHS Makerspace. Okay. We've been going for 7 years and strong. We print. A lot of that has been going. We do more.
We do parts of that. We fix things for teachers. Like we had a recent issue with a Chromebook cart that we were able to fix. We created trophies for a recent poetry competition for English teachers, and we do community requests.
So that we're not just technology, we also do craft kind of things, like we do sewing, t-shirts like these ones that we have on. We also working with History Club. We do.
And then the reason why we're here today is to talk to you and the community about an event that's going on next Tuesday from 5 to 7. Hand out the pamphlets.
Yep.
That's a makerspace event with, I think, both PCC and Walden at the public library just down the road.
So we're inviting everyone, including the audience, to come and celebrate science, technology, engineering, art, and math with us. We are collaborating with, and I'm Terry Bettis, by the way, I'm the librarian at SHS. I'm the Makerspace mentor, assistant swim coach, and Chromebook caretaker as well. Yeah, as Noah said, it's taking place this Tuesday, February 28th from 5 to 7. We are collaborating with the public library this year, so we've kind of moved it from SHS. I know some of you have been to our event in the past, kind of moving it over there this year to see how things go and kind of expanding and so on. I just want to make mention that the kids really like exploring and discovery and the hands-on learning that we do. We meet during lunch, we meet in the mornings sometimes to come in and do things. Sometimes they stay after school. A teacher just mentioned tonight the kids were working on the t-shirts. "Boy, it sounds like your kids are having a lot of fun back there." And I said, well, that's one of the goals. So so we have 12 of our members have signed up to come and help us at the event. So we're hoping to see all of them there. And we're just inviting you to come and celebrate Makerspace, Maker Fair, and STEAM with us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
If you don't have extras of these, I will, if someone in the audience wants one, I will give mine. I don't know if you have extra, because I know where it's at and when it is. But you have extras right there, okay. Thank you very much. Just double checking that is all, Ms. Lowell. Thank you very much. We'll go ahead and move on to the next item, which is a new business, open online public auction items. Dr. Valenzuela.
Dr. Sparks, members.
Thank you very much. We have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? I'm always interested in this list when there's a bus on it, because I think buses are very popular items in auction sites. So. But no buses. We have a lot of them right now. So.
They got tables on this one, though.
Huh?
They've got tables. It's a big one.
So no more. Any other comments? So no more comments. We'll go ahead and move to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Thank you very much. We'll move on to consent agenda. Dr. Valenzuela.
There we go. I was wondering why I was a little soft. Dr. Sparks and members of the board and public, you have a list of items deemed routine consent matters that may be considered and approved in one comprehensive motion, and I do recommend at this time approval of the consent agenda in its entirety.
Thank you very much. Do we have a recommendation? Do we have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. Any comments or discussion? Seeing no further discussion or comments, I think often we point out the fact that often the donations are listed here, and many of our community members regularly step up and support the school in pretty broad ways, financially, items of support. So we're grateful for that continued support. If no other discussion, we'll move on to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Thank you very much. Move on to the next item, possible future agenda consideration items. Do we have any items that you'd like to discuss? Okay. Seeing none, we'll establish the next board meeting will be here on March 8th in this building at the same time. And there is no executive session today. So we will go ahead and request a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion has second. Any discussion? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Thank you very much. We appreciate you all being here. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.